cartilage is a structure. All right, now, when you see something that is filled with air, like this is, all those luminal spaces, this is the lung. So the organ is the lung. You have to be able to recognize the organ, okay? That's the easiest thing you could do. Then each of these small air spaces with a wall around it, those are the alveoli. You can intersect an alveoli at a level where it's a complete circle, or you can intersect it at a level where it's open to the sac or the duct or the respiratory bronchiole. I'm not testing you on sacs and ducts. I'm testing you to be able to name an alveolus and then to be able to name the tissue type which makes up the wall of the alveolus. So what's that tissue type? Simple squamous epithelium. Okay? It's so flat. Now there are places where there's more, and those are either little blood vessels, blood capillaries, or there's some connective tissue there. But the wall itself, when there's no blood capillary, is just simple squamous epithelium. Now we move around and we start seeing some passageways. Let's take this one right here. Okay, I'm looking at slide 4883. This is an airway, and our choice is bronchus or bronchiole. I don't see any cartilage. I do see, and this is low power, so it might be hard for you to pick it up, but I do see smooth muscle, and that's looking more or less continuous in the wall. This is a blood smear. This is a blood vessel. Okay? Now, if you're unsure, you can go to high power. It must be inside. Yep. And at high power, you look around the wall, and you look and, you look and see if you can find any cartilage. And the cartilage is very obvious when it's present. No cartilage, and still the tumbled appearance of the pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, although we are starting to lose cilia. This is a bronchiole. And this bronchiole is maybe larger than you expected it. It's not a respiratory bronchiole. There is another bronchiole right here, and that's blood vessels again. We're going to look at those in a minute. Let me keep scanning. And it's fastest to scan at low power, at scanning power. And here we're in a very large lumen. And as we look at the wall of the lumen, what do you see? Cartilage. A piece of cartilage. Not a C-ring, but a piece. And we do have smooth muscle, but we have cartilage for support. This is a little piece of cartilage. Here's two little pieces of cartilage. There's a piece of cartilage. This is a blood vessel. Okay? So what do we call this particular structure? A bronchus, right? And we can look and name the PSCCE. We can look and name the smooth muscle. We can look and name the hyaline cartilage. And sometimes along the edge of a bronchus, we actually see lymph nodules. And I don't know if it's on this one or on the other slide. I believe it's this slide that has lymph nodules. I found them yesterday. And I'm not seeing it right here, so I'm going to move on, but I want to show you this little one right here. Just to help you understand what's going on. This is one of those respiratory bronchioles, and you can see how it's come down to a simple squamous epithelium alveolus here. So this is the very end of a bronchial air passageway because we have little alveoli coming off of there. This is probably an alveolar duct, okay? And then this is an alveolar sac, just so that you see what we were talking about in lecture. I am going to show you another 2 slides of the lung because I think it facilitates understanding. And that's just what I was talking about in the other one, is the termination of the bronchiole passageway, dumping into an alveolar duct and leading into an alveolar sac region. Okay, so we have the transition in the wall getting thinner, 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 thinner. All of a sudden, we're in the respiratory exchange membrane. Even this is a bronchiole leading to alveoli there. So I'm going to go around on here for a minute.
And so that thicker, that bigger part was the bronchus, and the thinner part was the bronchiole.
No, I have not seen a bronchus yet on here, because we've seen no cartilage yet. So that's what I'm scanning for right now, and this may be a slide that doesn't have, nope, we do. All right, see the cartilage right there? Cartilage and smooth muscle and pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. This has to be a bronchus. And this is the piece, here's another piece of cartilage over here. And I will usually go up in power to let you see the cartilage at least low power. But this, and see if it comes up, this is a lymph nodule. And it's part of the system called BALT, bronchus-associated lymphatic tissue. Okay. We have BALT, we have GALT, gut-associated lymphatic tissue. Okay. I think those are clinical terms. I'm not sure if your book is offering them anymore. But so that is a lymph nodule, and it's because the airway can be bringing pathogens in, and it's going to help do some cleaning. The other thing I didn't tell you, and it was in the picture of the respiratory exchange membrane, where we had the 3-dimensional alveoli that showed the septal cells in yellow. They showed just a few macrophages. So once you get to the respiratory exchange membrane in the lungs, there's no filtration mechanism anymore. There's no mucus production, there's no cilia. So the only way to clean the respiratory exchange membrane is with roving macrophages, alveolar macrophages. They used to be called dust cells. Okay? So that's the end of what you have to find on the lung. And again, bottom line, recognize the alveoli, that's the structural unit of the lung, and recognize that we are in the lung.